problem, Eric.
Mom, you don't understand. I'm getting really good at this. I have my arguments down rock solid. These young college girls are totally unprepared, so I can just destroy them and also edit out all the ones that actually argue back well. It just feels so good.
Really getting to be a problem, Eric.
Mom, you don't understand. I'm getting really good at this. I have my arguments down rock solid. These young college girls are totally unprepared, so I can just destroy them and also edit out all the ones that actually argue back well. It just feels so good.
#1 streamed show in the United States right now. The #1 streamed show. So people are watching this. And that is something the White House, which tried to dismiss the show as irrelevant and saying no one watched it, which of course is factually inaccurate.
South Park declares war on ICE, leaving the government in absolute shock. What was supposed to be another night of crude comedy turned into a brutal cultural ambush, with Washington caught in the crossfire. The episode detonated like a bomb, leaving the most powerful people in America scrambling. Everyone thought they were settling in for another wild but predictable night of South Park. You know, Cartman being Cartman, Stan and Kyle arguing. But what dropped that night wasn't just an episode, it was a bomb.
They're saying go for it, and indeed South Park still is going for it.
The teaser had already pulled in over 1 million views on YouTube, with fans tossing theories around like confetti. Who would get roasted this time? Nobody expected the US government to be dragged into the story, but when the credits rolled, Washington wasn't laughing. It was sweating.
They actually released this bonus clip on Twitter last night, poking fun at DHS Secretary Kristi Noem.
On Twitter, it looked like a firestorm detonating in real time. Hashtags exploded, clips went viral before Comedy Central even posted them. And the question ricocheting across every feed: what happens when a cartoon makes the most powerful people in America nervous?
South Park hasn't been relevant for more than 20 years, going on to say the show is hanging on by a thread by uninspired ideas in an attempt for attention.
That brings us to the bullseye, ICE. Not the cubes you drop in your Coke, ICE, as in immigration and customs enforcement. For years, ICE has been accused of tearing families apart, raiding homes, and ballooning its budget while public trust collapsed. By 2025, they weren't just disliked, they were despised. And South Park smelled blood. DHS was making headlines with desperate recruitment pushes, dangling 6-figure salaries and fat bonuses to lure new agents. Critics called it bribery disguised as patriotism. South Park didn't just notice, they pounced. This was their new target, and they came in swinging.
I've worked here for 26 years.
We appreciate your service to this school, but the government's cutting back on unnecessary expenses.
Well, what's more important than a school counselor?
Schools have one counselor now, and he is the greatest.
And who better to lead that satire than the least likely character imaginable, Mr. Mackey, the timid, clueless guidance counselor with his dragged-out K. Suddenly unemployed, Mackey stumbles into an ICE recruiting pitch, 6 figures, signing bonus, and just like that, he trades counseling kids for raiding homes.
You get it over like 3 years or something, but you still get a few thousand extra bonus. Oh my
gosh. On the surface, it was hilarious. Mackey bumbling through ICE raids, mumbling K as families ran in panic, had fans howling. But beneath the gag, the sting was obvious. This wasn't a parody pulled out of thin air. DHS was running almost identical ads in real life. South Park was just holding up the mirror, and the reflection was brutal.
Congratulations! He's invited you to Mar-a-Lago.
We're going to Florida.
Oh, wow.
Where we land in the water?
Then came the raids. This is where the episode shifted from funny to shocking. ICE storming a live Dora the Explorer show. Families dragged away as mascots bolted in terror. The absurdity was cranked up to 11. Cartoon chaos, kids screaming, ICE agents slamming doors. It was slapstick, and yet it felt too close to home.
So after losing my job, I realized I really better get a handle on how much I spend a month.
Yes, Mr. Mackey, looking over your portfolio here, it appears you've got about an $8,000 a month nut. Well, there are other career opportunities. Have you considered a job with that?
And South Park didn't stop. They pushed the concept into madness. ICE storming heaven itself, chasing angels with handcuffs, golden gates, halos, wings. Nothing was safe. The message was clear. ICE's aggression had no limits. Even the untouchable could be touched. That's South Park's specialty. You laugh because it's ridiculous, but deep down you feel it. That pit in your stomach whispering, "Why doesn't this feel so far-fetched?" But the most savage moment wasn't the raids. It was the masks.
Lock and load, recruits. Prepare to raid.
In South Park's version, ICE agents didn't stride around like proud enforcers. They wore masks, hiding their faces, ashamed of what they were doing. At first it felt like a gag. Then it hit harder. Because it wasn't fiction. Real ICE agents had been spotted wearing masks during raids, covering up to avoid being recognized in their own neighborhoods. That's when the satire stopped feeling exaggerated. It became a mirror. And South Park shoved that mirror right into America's face.
Another week, another Trump official brutally mocked by South Park. And this time, it was Kristi Noem's turn.
Just when it couldn't get darker, the writers pulled in another target, Kristi Noem. By then, Noem had gone from South Dakota governor to conservative darling, until her 2024 memoir derailed her career. She admitted to shooting her own dog. Thought it made her sound tough. Instead, it made her sound deranged. The backlash was savage.
A few years ago, I had to put my puppy down in the face. Because sometimes doing what's important means doing what's hard.
No.
So of course, South Park weaponized it. In the episode, Noem became the twisted cheerleader of ICE, leading agents like a pep rally captain. Every speech peppered with callbacks to that infamous dog story. It was merciless. South Park didn't just mock her. They annihilated her. She was cemented as a walking punchline, a villain audiences wouldn't forget. But reality wasn't done joining the chaos.
Yeah, there's other people that have gone on campus, and Milo and Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro that have done this format. But I mean, you have taken it to such a new level, billions and billions of views on TikTok. I mean, and they were so obviously parroting.
On the same day this episode aired, August 6th, 2025, DHS itself made the blunder of the year. They used South Park imagery in their recruitment material. Yes, the same cartoon ripping them apart was suddenly plastered on government job ads. It was surreal, like watching a villain stab themselves with the hero's weapon. South Park mocked their desperation, and DHS proved the joke true in real time.
Eric, are you all right in there?
Yeah, I'm fine, Mom. I'm just in here master debating.
Well, Eric, that's enough. Let's get out of the bathroom.
I can't, Mom. I'm master debating to these young college girls.
That's very naughty, Eric. Stop it.
Mom, I finally got sponsored by a protein powder, so I got to master debate for a couple more hours. Leviticus 9, 1 through 8. Let me alone.
The internet exploded. Outrage, disbelief, memes everywhere. TikTok edits of Mackey in riot gear. Kristi Noem pep rallies turned into remixes. Masked ICE agents photoshopped into Starbucks aprons. DHS had not only missed the joke, they had turned themselves into the punchline.
These days, he no longer feels special, and that's exactly how he's feeling here, seeing Clyde take his place as the offensive provocateur who's getting all the attention for it. Particularly the attention of Kyle, might I add. One of the things—
That's when it clicked. South Park wasn't just mocking ICE. ICE was validating South Park's mockery live, in front of the entire country. Satire and reality had collided so perfectly, you couldn't tell them apart. And that's why this episode landed like a cultural earthquake. It wasn't just edgy comedy anymore. It was war.
What kind of lawyers do they have? They got cool lawyers. Well, if it's parody, right, you can do anything.
One senator reportedly snapped at a press gaggle. We just got outflanked by a cartoon. Fox News scrambled into overdrive, framing the episode as dangerous propaganda, while late-night comedians called it the funniest national security threat in history. The irony was delicious. The government tried to act tough, but ended up looking like the punchline in its own circus. Meanwhile, Paramount Plus saw subscriptions spike overnight. People who hadn't touched South Park in years signed up just to watch the chaos unfold. Once they logged in, they binged the season. Because if one episode could rattle Washington, what else was waiting?
Remember, only detain the brown ones. If it's brown, it goes down. Jesus, look out!
No!
Fans turned the episode into digital wildfire. Raids on angels trended. Mackey's mimke became a TikTok sound. Kristi Noem's dog jokes morphed into viral memes. Masked ICE agents became templates for everything from high school yearbooks to Walmart shifts.
They feel emboldened the more and more they see this bad rhetoric coming out. So I thought the parody was just some bad.
27 seasons in, South Park had proven again it doesn't just live on TV, it infects the culture. But beneath all the laughter and viral madness, the message cut deeper.
All right, recruits, this is it. We're heading to a location that might be filled with illegals. Let's take these bad hombres down.
That might be.
No!
Oh my God.
The raids weren't just cartoon chaos, they reflected real headlines. The masks weren't random gags, they were ripped from reality. Even the inflated salaries, word for word from DHS job postings. South Park wasn't inventing horror, it was repackaging it, forcing viewers to look straight at it.
More and more young people today are learning to fight for America through masturbation. We're here to honor the recent efforts of a brave young man who has been furiously masturbating for the past several days and has won himself not only this trophy.
And that's why this episode was dangerous, because it blurred the line between satire and reality until you couldn't tell the difference. The real DHS looked more absurd than the cartoon. Hit like and subscribe to the channel to get more updates.